The Buffalo Bills punch the New York Jets in the nose 30-10 to go 2-0 on the season and 1-0 in the division. We are going to recap this entire game. Let's go.
To my friend Nate and all the listeners of this podcast, no one circles the wagons than Nate Escape. Circle the wagons, Buffalo.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Hey, hey, let's go Buffalo. Hey, hey, let's go Buffalo.
The Bills make me wanna.
What is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Circling the Wagons, a Buffalo fan base podcast. I am your host, Nate, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode where we will discuss the Buffalo Bills. This extremely stress-free game recap for the Buffalo Bills defeating the Jets 30-10 in New Jersey today. We're going to go over everything, stats of the game, plays of the game, wall of fame, wall of shame, and hot takes from folks on Twitter and social media. But first, I'd like to welcome my co-hosts, Jon and Mike, to the podcast. Jon, I'll start with you, man. How did this game go? How nice was it compared to week one where we were on the edge of our seats to the very end? And this game, you weren't really worried.
This game was fantastic. I mean, we had some concerns, especially the defense, but worked out. Everything was great. Defense played well. Concerns, forget about it. Loved it. Great. Love it. Go Bills.
Yeah, the defense really showed up. I was worried that it might be like another, 35-34 game where the Bills just barely edge out the Jets, but the Bills came to play. Even with more injuries, Taron Johnson being injured, Ed Oliver being injured. They lost some key players this week from last week, and they still put up a great showing on defense. Absolutely. Mike, how's it going, man? Thoughts on the game?
Oh, it was a great game, man. Really fun to watch, and I think I love it when they're close, right? It's exciting, makes for great television. You're on your edge of the seat the whole time. If they win at the end. This one, it was nice to have a little bit of a breather after last week, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ones where I'm on the edge of my seat and then they just blow it.
Those are the worst.
We know those ones very well. I was talking to someone at work and they said it was the Bills winning against the Ravens was similar to the Cowboys beating the Bills like on Monday Night Football like 15 years ago. Do you remember that one? It was just like the Bills were trouncing them and all of a sudden they came right back and just ended up winning it, right? That was our Cowboys game last week. So this was a good one. Against a team that they should beat. On paper, they were a better team. New coach, new quarterback. I was worried at first that they'd try to take advantage of the things that worked well for the Ravens. Like they have Justin Fields, he's a mobile quarterback. They have a really good running back in Breece Hall that is really giving the Bills issues at times because he's so good back there. The Bills, like I said, were missing Ed Oliver. They brought up Zion Logue from the practice squad. So I'm like, let's see how this defense goes without, Ed Oliver. And then you put TJ Sanders in there for the start too. Rookie, how do I feel about that? Taron Johnson's not there. Tre'Davious White is back. How healthy is he going to be? And they limited Breece Hall tremendously. Breece Hall had 29 yards rushing today. Just an amazing game for the Bills defense schematically. So obviously give a shout out to the players that stood up and executed, but also Bobby Babich for finding a way to not allow Justin Fields to do a lot of RPOs or not RPOs, quarterback options, right? Where he's either keeping the ball or tucking the ball because they had Fields and Breece Hall and they could have potentially done something similar to what Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry did, but they just do not have the offensive line or the Bills just game plan around it well. It was good to see. The Bills actually Tyrod Taylor had a better game than Justin Fields did statistically, which is crazy.
Dude, Mitch Trubisky had a better game.
Mitch Trubisky had a dime on that one play to
well, he had more yards, right, on the one completion.
Yes, 32. Yeah, he did. He had 32 yards on that one completion, and Justin Fields had 27 yards.
Also, that Trubisky pass might have been the best passing play of the entire game for either team. It was amazing.
That was a great play. Yeah, so real quick, I mean, Josh Allen didn't score a touchdown today. 148 yards passing, no interceptions, no touchdowns, no fumbles, luckily. And then, 59 yards rushing. So a little over 200 yards for the day in itself. Thoughts on Josh Allen's performance, do you care? Does it even matter? Because in my opinion, I mean, I don't really care because they took advantage of what the Jets were giving them between the turnovers, between that Joey Bosa. It wasn't really a strip sack. It was more of like a forced fumble while Fields was running, which was an amazing play by Bosa. By the way, I stand by the tweet I said where Bosa might be more impactful than Von Miller was already in the first game. And it's continuing on this game. And I don't mean like the first 11 games of Von Miller that we had before his ACL injury. I don't think anyone with any rational thought would think that Joey Bosa is definitely better than that. But every play since that injury, I feel like Joey Bosa is already better than.
I think it's an interesting heuristic because we have the whole body of work with Von Miller, and we're just anchored to a subpar performance after the injury. But when he first came on, like, he was electric before the injury. So 2 games to 2 games, I think it's kind of like money-wise, Bosa is a much better deal, and he looks just off the ball, and he's excited to be here. Like, I love the signing, but I think we were equally, it's too soon to tell from the injury perspective because we were equally as excited if we go back in time about Von.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so excited.
Von was great until he got hurt, and like Bosa's great until what if he does get hurt? Knock on wood, but same deal.
Hopefully it doesn't happen, but
Right. Yeah, but he's great. Love him.
The best. As long as he doesn't get hurt.
As long as he doesn't get hurt.
Even the announcers say it. They're like, "Oh, he's doing great. Let's hope he doesn't get hurt." Like even the announcers are saying that. So
that was his third forced fumble, right? In 2 games. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Has it been 3? Sure. Oh yeah, because the one they recovered and the other one they didn't last week. Yeah.
It kind of dovetails into something I was maybe going to talk about later, but I'd like to see, this game never felt close to me. And when the Bills got up, when Tyrod Taylor came out, right? Like, I'd like to see some of the Bills starters be put on ice just a drive sooner, or 2 drive. Like, it feels like this is the year, unless injuries derail them. The Chiefs are 0-2. Like, oh man.
And the Ravens tiebreaker already.
Yes. Like, it's all lining up exactly how we want it to happen. Just nobody get hurt.
No more people get hurt. They already hurt.
Yeah. Trey White came back today. He looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Milano played well today,
but might be injured.
Oh yeah, that's right. He left the game.
But
so did Cole Bishop or someone else. Who was it? Taylor Rapp? Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Go ahead. What were you saying, John?
I was going to mention Allen's nose, but he doesn't need that to throw, so that should be fine, right?
Josh Allen's nose got injured. Jeez. Did you guys catch the live blood on air too? Did you see that where they were fixing him up? Just dripping down like syrup out of his nose.
Yeah, he's like, he ran off the field so fast. I'm like I thought it was the worst thing ever. Like he ran off like, oh my gosh, he's done. Like, what happened? And he was just bleeding a lot. It's fine.
It was just bleeding a ton.
He's just bleeding.
What was the so if it wasn't that, John, I can't even think of an injury where you pop up that quickly and run to the sidelines for like help, because if it was a concussion, you'd be lying there, right? Like, what else could it be? Like a gouged eye?
Usually if it's on purpose, especially for a guy like Allen who's like wants to play through everything, you're thinking the worst. But like within a minute, you're like, oh, you can see what's going on, and you saw the replay where you got smashed in the nose and all that. But not that like a broken nose doesn't hurt.
Whatever.
I'm sure it's pretty painful, but
I remember playing, the closest I've ever gotten, I was playing CYO basketball, and I went diving for a basketball, and the guy was falling backwards, that I was like getting behind, like I was grabbing it from behind him. He started losing. I was trying to steal the ball, and then he like sat on my head between his butt and like the hard gym floor, and just like sat all his weight right on my face, and like my nose crunched into the gym floor, and that was the closest I've gotten. I didn't break it. I was just bloody, but not nearly as bloody as Josh Allen, And it was like at that age, it was like 4th grade, where it was like not okay to cry, but like you still wanted to because you were still young, like it was that awkward time. But yeah, I remember like turning over and like, and someone goes like, dude, look at his nose. Anyway,
I thought you were going to say like you were face up and he sat on your face kind of.
Oh
But
yeah,
it was leading to like a taint or something.
just went
Tim
right
Floyd.
into that crack. Yep.
Either way.
Either way, yeah. No, I'd much rather have my nose bounce off the gym floor than in a crack, if I had to choose it too. Busted nose over brown nose. So
I would say with Allen, like I hesitate to even say is pedestrian the right word? I think right, like nothing flashy did what you needed him to do, and like the Bills win the games well in hand. Like why show more than they need to? But one like I don't know if it was a mental lapse, but the two intentional grounding. Like if you were playing a better opponent, like that would have killed us against the Ravens, or like in the Chiefs lost today, but they looked good, I think, against the defending champs, right? Like if you were playing a top echelon team in the NFL, those would have been killer penalties. And I was really surprised. Like we keep saying Allen gets better year to year and cleaned up the turnovers and constantly working on it. It's just like I was surprised to see the intentional groundings. Really surprised.
Yeah, I can understand the first one trying to flip it out, and he just didn't
It
quite
wasn't even
get it
close, though.
It's 4 yards. I know it's 4 yards away, but then having that and then doing it again with that screen, that was tough. You know, the Jets though have given him a lot of fits over the, no pun intended with the shirt, over the years.
What is he doing? And we can only see his head.
let's see that full shirt.
He's,
Nice.
yeah, it's the whole, yeah. That was
It's
the
a good thing
Patriots game.
your headphone is over the ears, so you don't have like a big mic right in front of you.
Let's just do this. You don't have to see me.
Can we get Mike that shirt so that so when he goes up and down, it's Fitzy going up and down on that big mic that Mike's got working right in front of his mouth.
So I wore this last week because it's a black shirt for the night game, and they won. So I wore it again this week to win again. So I got to keep wearing it every game.
His arms look tiny in that, like a T-Rex kind of.
I don't know.
Just the perspective. I'm sure it's just a perspective. I'm not.
I think Fitz is an animal. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Buffalo treasure.
I think the proportions are off because of his chest hair. I think that's what throws it off, Mike. It's not that he doesn't have muscular arms. It's just the chest hair on that. So for those that are just listening, that aren't actually streaming this live, John is wearing a shirt that says Fitz, and it shows Fitz with his shirt off going, it must have been for like a Legend of the Game where he just.
No, I think this was when he was in the stands of that Patriots game in the playoffs where Josh Allen went off. Like the offense didn't like punt the whole game, the whole 9 yards.
7 possessions, 7 touchdowns.
The perfect offensive game, that whole thing.
Nice. I forgot anything about. Yeah. So going back to what Mike was saying about the penalties, yeah, you'd definitely like to see those cleaned up, Mike. Those seemed kind of. I wouldn't say they're elementary like mistakes. They're very simple mistakes. Like you have to throw it past. It's not like Allen couldn't throw it past there. He just kind of shoveled past that one, and the other one he just threw into the dirt. But it was still, you gotta know that one. The intentional grounding penalties could have killed us against a better team for sure. So you don't like to see those, but what's good to see about that on the positive side of that is that they can overcome these mistakes, right? Like the Bills didn't play well offensively altogether. They weren't bad, but the pass game was almost non-existent, and the Bills still found a way to just destroy them. So. Yeah, agree on 2 different fronts. What were you going to say, John?
Well, it also helped that it just had a ton of penalties. Yeah. Like every time there was like a crucial third or whatever, and like the Jets, defensive holding, or it's like Josh Allen runs for 40 yards. Oh, there's a flag. Oh, it's going to come back. Nope, it was the Jets that had a penalty. Like they had a lot of penalties.
Roughing the passer. There was
yeah.
It was what's funny is the Jets actually had less penalties and less penalty yardage than the Buffalo Bills, but they were at more crucial times. Yeah, they only had 5 penalties for 35 yards, but I feel like they were all on a third down where they were about to get off the field, right? Like, what was it? Was it defensive pass interference or holding or something where that one defensive back thought he had it, he went off the field, and then he's like, "Oh, I got to come back on." I forget exactly which pass that was to, but
yeah, and I think there was some that got declined too, so they didn't end up counting. Yeah.
So I was Bills again. Like, so let's go into stats of the game real quick. Buffalo Bills time of possession, 38 minutes to the Jets, 21 minutes. That was a huge swing in the Bills' favors. Guess how many more first downs the Buffalo Bills had than the Jets? Without looking it up, how many more first downs did the Bills have than the Jets? I'll give you a few seconds to think about that, but the Bills had more. How many more, though? Did it seem like a lot? I don't know if the Jets got a first down to the second quarter. It'd been a while.
I have a related stat, but it doesn't help me answer this question.
John, we'll get to your thing in a minute. Okay, this is my thing. We're doing my thing. Okay, Mike, you go first. John's still thinking about himself, so you gotta. Are you muted? I didn't hear that.
John has a related thing, so it doesn't seem fair.
It's not the
Oh,
same thing, though.
Make him go first, and then I go up or down.
Okay, John.
So
Like, I
easy
just
to
glanced
persuade
over.
Nate of
So,
anything.
It's how many more first downs we had than them? Is that the question?
Yes. How many more first downs did the Bills have than the Jets?
He's doing the math.
So if we had,
Let's see those wheels turning.
I don't know, 10?
I would say
That's a good
more.
guess.
Probably, you're right, Mike.
Yes.
It is more. There's 14 more. 10's a good guess, though. That's pretty darn close. Yeah, the Bills
Do you
had
want to hear my fun stat?
absolutely.
Or should I ask the question?
Yeah, ask a question.
What? How should I phrase this?
Something simple Mike can
Okay,
understand.
the Jets had 11 third downs on offense. How many did
I'm
they
already
convert?
lost. When you make a statement and then a question, I don't like those.
Oh, this is the easiest way to do it.
I can handle it.
The Jets had 11 third down plays. How many did they convert?
Oh.
They had 11. I need a scratch pad.
11 third down. Mike, it's not that. It's someone that like
Isn't that the same as saying how many third downs did they convert?
yeah, essentially out of
Well, I'm giving you the number that they had. So, like, okay, you can tell me how many they converted, but they had 11 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I'm
It's
giving
You're trying to give me more.
I'm giving you
information.
extra information. Yeah.
apparently they just throws
So I
Mike all
just
the way
cross
off.
that right off.
I give you your hint. It's not 11.
Perfect game by
I'll
Justin
say
Fields.
2.
I feel like, man, that's what I was gonna say. John, first off, did he get it exactly right? So am I wasting my time by giving an answer?
You're not wasting your
He
time.
would have had to tell us.
Okay.
He's not an
Three.
idiot.
3.
No, 0. They converted 0 out of 11 opportunities to convert a third down.
Wow, nice.
Bills defense. How about that?
That's awesome, man. The Bills had so this is where it
Do you
gets
think it's
interesting.
because we got rid of Kyrie Elam?
Dude, I watched Kyrie Elam today with Dallas. He was terrible.
Ooh.
They ended up winning the game in overtime, but man, that was close.
Is he real quick before not to get off the game, but is he the worst first round pick that Brandon Bean has ever had? Because I cannot think of one that's worse. Like at least some of them, they weren't amazing maybe, but they showed promise and they were like an adequate starter. Like
Yeah, it's probably the worst in the last 7 years. But in the same draft, he had Bedford, right? Like,
I'll make up for it now. Yeah, he just gave the 6th round. Well, let me just be safe. I don't know if I really like this Kyrie Elam guy. Let me just be safe. Let's get this kid out of Villanova. All right.
it's a crapshoot. Like, you're not gonna hit on every first round pick, right? As long as you hit on most of your first, and then get some good picks after that over the years, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Was that the same draft where they got like Cook and Bernard? Was that
think
that
so.
draft?
I
Yeah,
think
so
that was the draft. Yeah.
I'm going to consider that a successful draft.
Really good draft. If you think about it, between Cook, Bernard,
Shakir,
sure, and then also
and
Bedford, right?
Yeah. Yeah, who cares what the first round pick was? It was a good draft.
Not me. I don't give a shit. Let's see. On the Buffalo side of the ball, Josh Allen, 14 for 25, 148 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. James Cook, 21 carries for 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6.3 yards per carry for James Cook. Josh Allen, 6 carries for 59 yards, 9.8 yards per carry. And then we have Elijah Moore, 2 carries for 6 yards, 1 touchdown on the day. That was a pretty cool play. Revenge game for Elijah Moore. Leading receiver for the Buffalo Bills, Joshua Palmer, 2 receptions on 3 targets for 47 yards. And Dalton Kincaid, 4 receptions on 6 targets for 37 yards. Elijah Moore, 1 reception, 1 target, 31 yards. Keon Coleman, 3 receptions, 3 targets, 26 yards. And then a bunch of other guys. This was an interesting one. I think we're going to talk about him a little bit later. But Dawson Knox, 2 receptions on 5 targets for 19 yards. Whew, it's a rough one. It's a rough one for Dawson Knox today. On the defensive side of the ball, Cole Bishop had a sack. That was great to see. The defensive secondary kind of redeemed themselves. Of course, they're playing against Justin Fields, but they did hold Garrett Wilson, I thought, to a pretty good number compared to last week, what he had there. Let's see who else had a sack. Joey Bosa had a sack. Daquan Jones had a sack. Zion Logue and Greg Rousseau each had a half sack. There were 3 forced fumbles on the day. Cam Lewis had a forced fumble. Joey Bosa had 2 forced fumbles, like Mike mentioned earlier. Matt Prater, 3 for 3 today, long of 52 yards and 3 for 3 extra points. Great game by Matt Prater, Matt Glory Days Prater. Jets side of the ball, Tyrod Taylor, leading passer, 7 for 11, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Fields, mentioned earlier, 3 for 11, 27 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Justin Fields was leading rusher, 5 carries, 49 yards. And then Breece Hall, 10 carries for 29 yards. Leading receiver for the Jets, 4 receptions on 8 targets for Garrett Wilson, 50 yards. And then just Justin Ruckert, or whatever his name is, had a touchdown at the end of the game, a garbage time touchdown. So nothing too crazy. 1 sack for the Jets. It's all that was allowed today. So I was kind of surprised at that, but the pocket broke down on Josh Allen. So who wants to go into Sweet Sassy Molassy plays of the game? Let's do it.
Sweet Sassy Molassy. Get out the checkbook and pay Grandma for the rubdown.
All right, Sweet Sassy Molassy plays of the game. John, let's start off with you first. What do you have as your Sweet Sassy Molassy play of the game?
I love that cut. That was awesome. That James Cook second touchdown run, the 44-yard run, he had to jump over some people at the beginning, and then he broke away down the right side. Touchdown all day. I loved it. I get that. That's why they re-signed him. That home run threat ability, and he proved it just there.
Yeah, that was a good one, John. He not only did he run like that, there was the cutting, like you said, it was like precision, because there was one point where a guy dove at his legs and he almost got him, but he like jumped up at like the last second and then made a cut and somehow got through. I love watching James Cook, because if he somehow gets into the open space, he's gone. Like I was watching it with my family, my kids, and like, oh, look, he got it. Like, he's gone. It's the 25-yard line. He's going to get a touchdown. Like, these guys are not catching up to him, which is so fun to have. It has been a while since the Bills have had that. John or Mike, what was your Sweet Sassy Molassy play of the game?
Oh man, it's tough to top that one. That legit felt like I was watching Barry Sanders highlights on YouTube, where he does like that, the leg go limp for a second, so the defender's grabbing nothing, and then just the jump cut, and then takes off the speed, the power and the speed. Man, it was awesome. Also made me think of like watching Priest Holmes back in the day, like the human joystick element. So love that play. For me, I think the Joey Bosa punch out really felt like a momentum shift. Like the Jets were still in it, driving a little. Can I say driving a little bit? Not really.
They made 1 positive yard. Yeah.
But instantly getting slapped back down. Like it felt like the Bills really just like we're going to start dominating that game when they punched it out and scored. So I like the Joey Bosa punch out. And was it Epinesa who recovered it?
Yeah, it was.
But that play.
Yeah, that was man. I feel like that would win the Gettysburg of the game for sure. That was the turning point, and then the Bills just never looked back. It was just like the game was over at that point. Man, I like them both. I was going to give it to James Cook, so I'm with John on that one. But that was definitely it was like my 1A or 1B was a Joey Bosa punch out to that. So yeah, can't disagree with that. Let's go into Sweet Sassy Molassy, or no, we just did that. Let's go into Wall of Fame and Wall of Shame. Let's start with a Wall of Fame. Wall of Fame of this game, your MVP of this game. Mike, I'll start with you on this one. There's a lot of good ones to go with. I think more so Wall of Famers and Wall of Shamers, as you would suspect in a big win like this. What do you go with? Who do you go with? Who or what? All right, I'll go with John. John. Mike's thinking. John's going to have at least 8, so you can pick from one of them.
Okay.
Mike's not going to like my answer because it's not one person.
Yes. Yes.
If
everyone gets an award, there is no award.
No, it's the defense. They bounced back from the last game. They held Breece Hall.
That's why it's not hard for him. He picks
10
people
for 29, only 2.9 yards per carry. Fields was only 3 of 11 for 27. They gave up a total of only 154 yards. Now, to put that in perspective, last week Derrick Henry had 182 yards and Zay Flowers had 151 yards. So total bounce back game. And as I said before, Jets were 0 for 11 on third down. Defense all around played a huge game with Ed Oliver and Terrence Johnson out. They get all the credit. Go defense.
John, I like that one a lot. Just last week, Justin Fields had, to put in perspective for the stats that John just mentioned, last week against the Steelers in New York again at home, 218 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Breece Hall had 107 yards rushing. Justin Fields had 48 yards rushing. So the Jets had a pretty good game offensively against the Steelers, who usually have a pretty good defense. So the Bills just absolutely smoked them from the beginning. But that's what you do against the Jets. You make it so that they can't run the ball and they have to pass the ball, and then the game's over, right? You make Justin Fields pass, and then it was over. So, Mike,
James,
are you going
Cook.
deep?
No.
Okay.
132 rushing yards. How many carries did he have? 21. 2 touchdowns. It's nice to know the Bills can be a running team. Like, right? It seems like when we get into shootouts, Allen puts on the cape, saves the day. But man, that Cook signing, barring injury, right? I think it's going to look better and better. It's going to look like a steal.
Yeah, great point, Mike. What is this? 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks for James Cook. Like you said, I like the James Cook pick for the fact that I didn't think the Bills were going to be able to run that well against the Jets, and it wasn't even. The Bills really aren't a team that just stretches the field out wide. Like he cuts around the corner and makes it. The Bills don't do that. They really go at you between the tackles, and with Quinnen Williams in there. Now the Jets have some good defensive linemen. I'm like, it's going to be a tough game for the Bills to run. And James Cook found a way, man. Great offensive line performance, great performance by James Cook. I had James Cook at the top, also the Bills run defense, but then obviously the pass defense. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Matt Prater. Matt Prater has not missed a field goal or an extra point as of yet this season, which I just completely jinxed. But I would have allowed him to miss anything this week because you're like, well, he had a tough, it was a big week last week. You're not going to be perfect. We know he's going to come back down to earth. And people are saying, well, you need to let him just ride out the season, which the Bills might. But at the same time, I kind of feel like because of his age, like we've seen this happen so many times between like Dan Carpenter and Steven Hauschka, these free agent wide receivers come in and then like after a year or two, they really just like fall off the wagon. And I could see this happening just at an accelerated rate with Matt Prater just because of his age. But I mean, as long as he's going 90% or whatever above with field goal percentage and he's making extra points, dude, keep him in there. Just let Tyler Bass get 100% healthy to do that. So, or he misses a season. As soon as you put Matt Prater on the practice squad because Tyler Bass comes back, he's going to get snatched up right in a moment.
I'll say, did you guys catch the stat on the broadcast about how the Bills winning the turnover battle for the most consecutive games since like 1966, maybe?
No. How many games has it been?
If I knew, I would have said it. That's why I was asking.
You just know that I thought you just meant, do you know of the stat? Like, have you heard that there's a thing? Let's see.
I was going to say, I wonder how closely it timed up with Joe Brady.
I'm not sure about that, but I think I heard Nate reference 2 old kickers the Bills used to have as wide receivers and called them something about falling off the wagons and we're circling the wagons. I got really confused.
Did I call them wide receivers? No.
And then they fell off the wagon. So what does that mean?
Does that mean that they took up drinking? Yeah, they fell off the.
But they should be circling the wagons.
They should be circling. They did not circle the wagons at the end of their tenure here. Yeah, punters. That's what I meant.
Kickers. Hauska and
Kickers. Yeah, that's what I meant too.
Carpenter. Yeah, kickers.
Am I stroking out right now? What's going on? I'm looking at this stat. I cannot find that stat, Mike. I know that the Jets' 154 yards are the fewest the Bills have allowed in a road game since December 9th, 1990.
Wow. This defense is legit, right?
This, the biggest worry. Wow, they are so good.
Missing 2 starters even.
Yeah, 2 important starters. If some Bills can somehow keep this up, and then all of a sudden you get Michael Hoyt back and Larry Ogunjobi, then I mean, watch out, man.
I mean, Trey White came back and he played well, I thought.
Agreed.
Milano played well. The Bernard was good. Like,
this was a perfect game for Trey to come back if he was going to come back, right? I think this is a much better game than the Dolphins game where the Dolphins have weapons, a wide receiver, a halfway decent quarterback. Like this was okay, you're back. You haven't played with us for a while. It's a get right game. This was great for Trey White to come back for.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was more worried about the Jets this weekend than I was about Miami next week. Miami looks like a hot mess right now.
Yeah, but they were close to pulling that off.
I think Tyreek looks like he wants out.
Didn't he say he wanted out at the end of last season? Yeah, he wants out.
I think he still wants out.
Well, that could be bad if he goes to the Chiefs.
Oh, he'd go right back there too.
He's 0-2 now, right? They just lose?
Yes, I think that's what Mike said earlier. The Chiefs did lose to 0-2. Wow.
So we're already 2 games up on the Chiefs. I think we're going to go undefeated, honestly.
Well, what's the schedule look like between now and the Chiefs game? Like it is a very
they're going to be 7-0 going into the Chiefs game. They got Miami at home, the Saints at home, the Patriots at home, at the Falcons, bye at the Panthers, and then home against the Chiefs. What game are they losing there? And then even after the Chiefs, they got Miami, Tampa Bay, the Texans, the Steelers, Cincinnati, Patriots, Browns, and then second to last game is the Eagles. That might be their next toughest game, and then the Jets.
Oh, the Eagles are definitely there. It goes Chiefs and then Eagles as the toughest.
The Chiefs and the Eagles are the only 2 really that are notable. Everything else is
winnable.
Right.
Very, very winnable. Like, I mean, even the Texans, I think the Bills could beat them given a second chance.
They could go undefeated. That's what I'm saying. The 2 hardest games, Chiefs and Eagles, are at home.
That's incredible. It's a good. At first, I was a little worried about the schedule, but now when you say it like this and the way that the Bills are 2-0,
they don't have to travel. The furthest they have to travel is to the Texans and to the Dolphins. Those are the 2 furthest games they have to travel.
That's not that far at all. They do the Dolphins every year.
Right.
And the Dolphins game is going to be in what this year? Like November, December? That's going to be perfect for them. That is
it's
November
later. Yes, later. Yeah.
What I hope is when the Bills play the Dolphins, they didn't just fire their Mike McDaniel then, because you know how the team that just gets their head coach, you get the fired head coach bump. I hope they fire him right after the Bills game. Just need that. I'm going to give a real quick honorable mention for Wall of Fame to Josh Allen's nose, man. That was sick. It's like John said, when he hopped off and got out, I wasn't thinking nose. I was thinking it was like a shoulder or something. Like he went down, he dove head first, like he dislocated his shoulder or something. He needed to get popped back in. Something like related to that. I didn't think nose. Thought maybe an eye, that we were going to see. It's hard to tell, but yeah, tough dude, as you would expect. Okay, we did Wall of Fame. Let's go into Wall of Shame.
Shame, 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 shame.
Wall of Shame. John, you want to take this one first?
Sure. I mean, I do have an honorable mention, which is not a specific player, so that I can get that out of the way. So
yeah, get that out of the way.
The third down offense, 5 of 14. Not great.
That's a good one. That's a good honorable mention. What's your real Wall of Shamer, though? I like that one.
Dawson Knox with 2 drops.
That's what I was going to put on my Wall of Shame, too. I'm glad you said it. Dawson Knox had a rough game. That one drop, too, he acted like he got pulled, like his arm was pulled down, and then you see it in instant replay, like, nah, I don't think he really touched
No, he just Yeah, he just dropped it.
How could you not call that, ref? Like, come on. Oh, maybe he got interfered
And
with. No.
they're both important plays too. Like that doesn't help.
Yeah, we don't need this Dawson Knox to show up when it matters.
It was funny too, because like we were watching the game, like he caught a pass earlier in the game. Like, oh, remember what it was like the first 2 seasons? It was like, Stonehand Knox, and later on, dropped it.
He was doing his best impression of Scott Chandler. Like it'd be like hit him right in the hands, fall right to the ground. Yeah, that was today. That was today. I didn't like 2000. What was it? 2022 Dawson Knox showing up out of nowhere. Not a fan of that. Mike, do you have him on your Wall of Fame, or do you have something different?
Yeah. I guess penalties, 6 penalties, 69 yards, and the intentional groundings. I think again, you got to get that cleaned up. But otherwise, yeah. Knox, to say we keep waiting, how long can you wait for like just some of the catches he had early in his career? Like he would make the circus catch but drop the easy one. Yeah, and you were hoping that would get straightened out, and you think Knox and Kincaid could be our Gronkowski and Hernandez.
The law-abiding version of the two. Yes, absolutely.
But it hasn't exactly shaken out that way.
For either, really.
Yeah, for either.
At this point. I think Kincaid's having a solid start to the season, but nothing spectacular yet. It sounds like he's doing a lot better blocking-wise, which is a great thing to hear and see. But yeah, I like that one too, Mike. A wall of shame, just messy plays at times. So the Jets run a lot of man coverage. And I think the Bills' issues throwing the ball was kind of amplified by that because, Sauce Gardner is a really good cornerback, but they don't have great cornerbacks besides that. Josh wasn't finding those guys open a lot. So I'm not going to say the passing game is a wall of shame. I think the receiver separation is something this has been an issue for a while now, right? Since before Stephon Diggs got here and ever since he's left, the ability to separate. And I know that's what Joshua Palmer was here for. He had a couple of good plays today. It'll be interesting. We gotta keep an eye on that. I'm not willing to say it's like an issue right now, but you keep hearing about it on WGR, and then you kind of see Josh not being able to find the guy open, or he's throwing to guys that really aren't open, but he's got to put it right in the perfect spot. Did you guys get any of that feeling at all watching today's game, that there wasn't a lot open for Josh? So why else wouldn't they have a better passing output than they did today?
I think it was a mixed bag between that. I think when Josh initially got hurt, I think he got a little hyper in some of his passes too. There was a little bit overthrown passes after the nose injury. And like I said earlier, the Jets always seem to give the Bills a little bit of fits somehow with their run offense, but not as much recently. I think that the Jets defense isn't as good as it used to be. So I think it just, worked out in our favor that way, but I can kind of see what you're saying though.
I'm just wondering if it could be an issue. It clearly wasn't an issue the week before, so maybe I'm looking a little bit too much into it, but they didn't need to pass the ball, and they didn't. So just something I'm going to be paying attention to from here on out. All right, let's go into some hot takes from folks on Twitter. So if you're not following us on Twitter, please do. We're at CTW Pod, like Circling the Wagons Pod, and after every game, I let you guys in if you are interested in being on the show or being a part of the show. By the way, we're going to do a giveaway this next week for the podcast. So here, let me minimize the screen. The end all be all giveaway that we're going to do. I'm reaching over here into the bag.
It's nothing I want, is it?
You want a Taron Johnson signed jersey?
Yeah.
It's something you want. That is going to be the thing that we give away at the end of the year. But we're going to give away some other things before that each week starting next week.
Where do you get all this stuff? You're taking food out of my mouth, bro.
You're like, there has to be a pay cut this year. Sorry, man.
Are we allowed to
John,
win these
You're
things?
getting paid?
Wait a minute. This is a Tito's.
Oh, the vodka?
Football. Tito's vodka. Yeah, they have a football. They gave us a cool care package a couple years ago when we did a collab with them for something that they were marketing. So they're just like, here's some cool Tito's stuff. I'm like, absolutely, this is cool. But let me give it away to the listeners. So if you guys are interested in
I'm listening.
winning, if you guys are interested in winning this, there's 3 ways that you can win. you have to leave a 5-star review on the podcast, either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Now, Spotify never tells you who does it, whereas Apple Podcasts does. So if you do it on Spotify, just shoot me a DM, shoot me a screenshot somehow so I know that it's you and I'll put you on the list. If you've ever left us a 5-star review, you can definitely update it now, but I have everyone that's ever given us one. So you are all in the running. If you leave us a comment through the live stream on this, I will add your name to that as well. So add a comment, subscribe on YouTube. We're on YouTube now. And I want you guys to win some stuff. So we're going to be starting to give away giveaways. I also have some more Bills stuff too. It's in this box. So as we go through, yeah.
What if I give you like 4.8 stars? What does that get me?
That gets you the box that this Tito's football came in. The bag that the Taron Johnson jersey came in.
Well, it might be worth it. My kids would love to play with the box.
John, you could leave a 5-star review with some name that I had no idea what it meant on Apple Podcasts, or find someone that does do it, that does have an iPhone, and do it that way. And I would have no idea. So you could actually win it. You're just like, oh, here's the address, so and so. Oh, wait,
You know my address, though.
I know your address. I'm pulling a fast one, but yeah.
Like, wait a second.
Is this John? No, I got something. I'll give you guys something by the end of the year. I got something in mind for you guys. Something small.
Stop it.
Yeah. No. So let's see. Let's go into hot takes from folks on Twitter. All right. So here we go.
You're like reading the posts or the replies, but could you ever just people raise their hand and go live to them, video camera, like boom, there they are?
That would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of
awesome.
You can. I don't think we can. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Somebody watching live raises their hand, and you're just like, boom, in.
Do it.
That's a cool idea.
A Zoom call? Yeah. A Zoom call. Yeah, that could be dangerous too, as well.
Well,
but I like the idea. Well, the people can put in their comments there as we're scrolling through. So yeah. NBA Hoops Online said, Bills did exactly what they needed to do and should have done. Kicked the Jets' teeth in early and played a rather vanilla game on offense. You know Sean McDermott loved the game plan in the second half when he could just run the ball and only had to pass as needed. Loves that game plan. Richard W. Griswold says, defense redeemed. Bosa fantastic. Even Cole Bishop played well. Fields useless. 3 for 11, 27 yards. Cook on fire. Said the stats. Jets forfeit 224 rushing yards against 154 total yards. Hapless Dolphins next Thursday night. Big R is in. He says, I was wrong to doubt the defense, even with all the injuries and bad week 1. Incredible comeback game for them. Lastly, James Cook is worth every penny. I like that one. I like that one for a few reasons. I think that it's going to be one of those things where it was tough after the week 1 to say that they were awful, and even after week 2 against the Jets to say they're great. I think that they cleaned up their communication. There's a lot of players that weren't on the field for a lot of preseason and training camp they're still getting signals down in communication, and that's going to be a work in progress. So I think that's something that they're going to be working on consistently, but it did look so much better. So I don't know if I'm ready to say that they're back because they weren't great last season, but they're looking good. Looking good now. Bill Lasso says, leftover take from last week. The Ravens are our best rivalry. They're so good, and we have to play our best. It's pure football as opposed to when we play the Chiefs and we have to play the refs too. Pray for me. I'm coming to Buffalo for the Miami game, and my layover is in Baltimore. Awesome. Hold on, guys. My dog got locked down in the basement with me, and she wants to get out. Hold on. You want to get out? You want to go upstairs?
This is your chance to carry the show, John. Next man up.
The only problem is I can't scroll what we're seeing for Twitter. So we're already at the end of the comments until he scrolls more. What do you think about the next game? It's going to be good, right?
Lock.
Miami?
Yeah, I know you don't like
I was kind of hoping they would.
I love them.
Yeah, I was hoping they would pull it out over New England, just so that like they got that win before our game. That would have been nice, but I think either way it doesn't matter. We're gonna beat them.
I don't think
right?
it matters either.
You know.
Do you think McDaniel is like done?
I think he could be done sometime during this year. It could be. I kind of like him. He's kind of quirky. and I like his mindset, but I think he kind of like overthinks things sometimes, and
He
just
seems like a decent X's and O's guy, but it's
he
like the
gets in,
shtick is worn off. Yeah.
yeah, he kind of gets in his own head sometimes, and just you know overanalyzes. They got a lot of talent, but this isn't working out for them.
I think he'd make a better coordinator at this point than a
Maybe,
coach.
yeah,
So
for sure.
Chad Labrie says even a nose injury to Josh Allen doesn't slow the Bills' momentum down. Babbage had the defense firing on all cylinders. Go Bills! Happy Victory Monday. I wish I was in Buffalo at Saxa. Dave says stress-free football is always good football. Bills D-line going to eat Thursday versus the Fish. Go Bills. Big Mike says Dawson Knox need to either find some stickum or give up his reps to the new TE Dawes. Yeah. Swank 24/7 Buff Fandemonium says Joey Bosa is doing exactly what he's Bosa be doing. Hashtag damn good dad jokes. That's a good one. I like that one. I'm gonna retweet that one, repost that one. AJ Tharp says, thank you to the Jets organization. 7 years ago, you passed on a kid from Wyoming to take Sam Darnold, forever enriching the lives of us here in Buffalo. You are the real MVP. That's awesome. All right, reposting that one. That was a good one. Jason Statham says, Bobby Babbage deserves a lot of credit. Plus Hawks at tight end. Hawes, I think he meant at tight end, is a real find.
Don't you think it's curious that like, or so much is your environment? Like we might, if Darnold and Allen were switched, right? Allen might be the journeyman quarterback on whatever team now, and Darnold is the face of the league, right? Jets are dumpster fire.
Yep.
You put Allen on the Jets, I don't think he is where he is.
Man.
To take nothing away from him, I think you need the GM, the quarterback. You need that.
I think it depends, and I also think there's varying degrees of that. But I do agree with you that going to the right team or the right situation does help you a lot more than not.
Yeah, but Josh wasn't in a good situation when he first got here. Remember, he was splitting reps between Nathan Peterman and himself, and then eventually, or maybe was there even a third one? Was there a third player they were splitting reps with?
I really like McDermott though.
Well, Tyrod was here originally, right?
He wasn't here when Josh was here, though. They traded him right before they traded for Josh in the draft, before they drafted Josh, rather.
Gotcha.
So there was someone else. I could have swore it was a Derek Anderson. No, I'm thinking way too far back. There's like some veteran quarterback that had been here a while.
You could point to Josh's rookie season where he had a lot of growing pains, and they did develop him, and he put in the work. I think that's part of it too. He put in the work during each offseason, where a lot of quarterbacks don't. So that could be a difference right there.
I don't know. Today's day and age, you don't think everybody's working in the off season?
Not everybody. Sometimes you're playing PlayStation instead.
Call of Duty. Yeah. I think Josh was almost in a way set up to fail because his offensive line was atrocious. They didn't plan on him starting the season, and then halfway through the first game they threw him in there. And the offensive line was garbage. The receivers were, what was his best receiver? It wasn't even Calvin
I don't think
Benjamin
you move up like that to set him up to fail. I think we knew early that McDermott was the real deal.
I didn't think they set him up to fail specifically, but they had a terrible offensive line and no good weapons, and they just kind of threw him in there without preparing him to be the starter. So I don't think that they meaningfully did that, and that luckily they had the culture and the coaching staff to help get him through that. But I think a lot of quarterbacks would have failed in that exact same situation. I think a lot of quarterbacks are halfway decent now that were set up. Like that's my argument. The only argument that I have that Josh Allen could potentially be better than Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback, even though Patrick Mahomes is a Super Bowl, is because Patrick Mahomes was set up perfectly. He was in a team that had just gone to the playoffs with a really good quarterback and really good coaching staff, and then he just kind of took over, right? And he just took it to the next level. Whereas Josh was handed like what were they 6-11, 6-10 when he first started his rookie season, and they were not good. And the next season they made the playoffs, but
they made the playoffs with Tyrod first.
Yes,
Tyrod broke the drought, so they at least did that.
And I think the culture was established with McDermott and Bean. I think they were trending in the right direction for sure.
They
I
were.
think they had the right people and the right guys.
We-
They were working on the personal, but they had
Exactly.
to dig out from Whaley,
We just didn't know at the time that was the case that year, but yeah, for sure.
But it was like a stark difference. Like these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah.
No,
We're so used to
we thought
coaching
that
staff.
every 3 years. We thought that every 3 years.
I
I
Oh,
did.
this is it.
This is the guy. This is the coaching staff that'll no.
Maybe not Dick Duran, but in the most cases,
Changeli. Oh yeah, Changeli. I like Changeli. I was hoping he would succeed.
Rex Ryan. I mean, there was pros and cons to everybody. Like even McDermott, there's pros and cons initially. You didn't know for sure, but I'm glad it worked out. Glad they got the quarterback.
Yeah, amen. Amen. Sometimes I'm just thankful. I try not to overanalyze what would have happened if it didn't go that way, but just glad that we somehow got there for once. James Judge says, hoping they are undefeated when I come through for the Chiefs game. Should dominate Thursday night. James Judge. James is going to be there. Look up James while you're if you're at the Bills Chiefs game. Mark O'Donnell said there isn't a team on the schedule before the bye they should lose to. Absolutely. Dave Kilmer said little mistakes but easy to clean up. The players that came in stepped up big. Yes, Josh didn't have a great game, but the defense showed up. I feel like that's how all good teams win championships is they just complement each other well. When Tom Brady's not throwing for 300 yards, his defense is, shutting down the other team's offense. Adam A says, can Miami just forfeit, save us both a short week and save us a little bit of dignity for Finns fans? Jack Handy said, turns out Ed Oliver was holding the defense back. Missing Ecto Coolers says, that's funny, missing Ecto Coolers. I miss Ecto Coolers too. We did it without Josh scoring too. Ripper Magoo says, offense looked out of sync. Allen was very average. Way too many third and longs. Defense looked good. They won a game they were supposed to. 2-0. And then last but not least, James Keller. Boring ass win is better on the blood pressure than last week's insanity. James Keller. And that is all. Thank you guys all for being a part of the show. Thank you guys. Any final thoughts on this one, Mike and John, before we end this? Because this was a fun one. This was no anxiety.
That was great. I was a little nervous with Breece Hall after the Derrick Henry game. I mean, he's a Derrick Henry, but he's a really good running back, and to hold him like they did with that Oliver out, I was impressed. I was a little worried, but I was impressed.
Definitely. Mike, any final thoughts, any hot takes before we close off this one?
You want to guess what the line's going to be for Thursday? How much are the Bills favored by? Nate, you can go first, and then John can go above or below.
10.5.
John.
It's at home 11.
Correct. 12.5.
That's a good one. Very nice. I thank you guys all for listening. Make sure you get in those reviews and everything before next week when I give away this Tito's football. And thank you guys all for listening. Again, we love you guys. Go Bills. Signing off for John.
When it's too tough for them, it's just right for us. Go Bills.
And for Mike.
Can't wait for Thursday night. Go Bills.
And for me, Nate, do good, be good, God bless, and go Bills.
Thank you for listening to the Circling the Wagons podcast. Download and subscribe to us in your favorite podcast service. Email us at ctwpod@gmail.com. That's Charlie Tango Whiskey Pod@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at CTWPod. And most importantly, go Bills!
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, Nate.
Well, listen, the whole show is called Circling the Wagons. Say no more. I love it.